The alliance between Donald Trump, the 47th President of the United States, and Elon Musk, the world's richest man and CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and X, was one of the most extraordinary partnerships in modern American politics. Formed in the crucible of the 2024 presidential election, this relationship combined Trump's political power with Musk's financial resources, technological innovation, and social media influence. For nearly a year, the two men appeared inseparable, with Musk serving as a key advisor in Trump's administration and leading the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, a bold initiative to slash federal spending. Their partnership promised to reshape Washington, but it unraveled spectacularly in June 2025, marked by a public feud that played out on social media and television, shocking political observers and impacting markets, policy, and the Republican Party's future. This account explores the build-up to this meltdown, tracing the alliance's origins, its high points, the simmering tensions that led to its collapse, and the far-reaching consequences. Drawing from detailed reports, including articles from the New York Times, The Guardian, The Washington Post, BBC, and others, this narrative provides a comprehensive examination of a relationship that captivated the world and left a lasting mark on American politics. Part I. The genesis of an unlikely alliance. The context of 2024. The Trump-Musk alliance was born in a volatile political and economic climate. In 2024, the United States was grappling with economic uncertainty, polarized politics, and a contentious presidential election. Donald Trump, seeking a second non-consecutive term, campaigned on a platform of economic nationalism, deregulation, and a rejection of the deep state. His rhetoric resonated with a base frustrated by inflation, immigration, and perceived government overreach. Meanwhile, Elon Musk, once a supporter of democratic policies, had shifted rightward, disillusioned with what he called the party of division and hate. In 2022, Musk's political evolution was striking. In 2016, he had praised Hillary Clinton's economic and environmental policies, criticizing Trump's character as unfit for leadership. By 2022, however, Musk publicly broke with the Democrats, citing their shift toward progressive policies he viewed as divisive. His acquisition of Twitter, rebranded as X, in 2022 amplified his influence, giving him control over a platform that shaped political discourse. Musk's decision to reinstate Trump's account, previously suspended after the January 6, 2021, Capitol attack, signaled a thawing of their relationship. The turning point came in July 2024, following an assassination attempt on Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Musk, moved by the event, endorsed Trump publicly, writing on X, "I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery." This marked a shift from his earlier support for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in the Republican primary. Musk's endorsement was not merely symbolic. He committed nearly $300 million to Trump's campaign, including $277 million through a super PAC he created to promote principles that made America great. This financial backing, particularly in swing states like Pennsylvania, was credited with helping Trump secure victory in November 2024. A partnership of mutual benefit. The alliance was rooted in mutual convenience. Trump, a master of branding and media, saw Musk as a powerful ally who could fund his campaign, amplify his message on X, and lend credibility to his vision of disrupting Washington. Musk, in turn, saw Trump as a vehicle to advance his goals of reducing government spending, promoting technological innovation, and securing favorable policies for his companies, Tesla and SpaceX. Their shared penchant for controversy and disdain for bureaucratic norms made them kindred spirits, despite their differences in style and background. Trump, at 78, was a New York real estate mogul and reality TV star turned politician, known for his brash demeanor and traditionalist worldview. Musk, 53, was a South African-born tech visionary who thrived on disruption, often presenting himself as an irreverent, futuristic thinker. Yet both men were experts at generating attention, unafraid to provoke opponents and dominate headlines. Their partnership was cemented by Musk's appointment to lead the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, a non-official advisory body created by Trump's executive order to slash federal spending and streamline operations. Part 2. the peak of the alliance. Musk's role in the Trump administration. Musk's appointment as head of DOGE was a bold move, signaling Trump's intent to shake up the federal government. DOGE, though not a formal department, wielded significant influence, with Musk's team accessing sensitive data across dozens of federal agencies. Over its 129-day existence, DOGE eliminated thousands of government jobs and claimed to have saved billions in spending, though these figures fell far short of Musk's ambitious $1 trillion goal. Musk's presence in the administration was ubiquitous. He was seen at cabinet meetings, on Air Force One, and even spent nights in the White House's Lincoln bedroom. The partnership reached its public zenith in February 2025, when Musk, accompanied by his son XAE-A12, joined Trump in the Oval Office for a press conference. Trump praised Musk as one of the greatest business leaders and innovators the world has ever produced, while Musk lauded Trump's leadership and the majesty of the Oval Office's golden decor. The event culminated in Trump presenting Musk with a symbolic golden key, a gesture that underscored their close bond. Musk vowed that DOGE's mission would continue, even as his tenure as a special government employee neared its 130-day limit. Public displays of unity throughout early 2025, Trump and Musk appeared as a united front. They attended high-profile events together, including the SpaceX Starship launch in November 2024 and the Army-Navy football game in December. Musk's public statements reflected his admiration for Trump, with a February post on X declaring, "I love at real Donald Trump as much as a straight man can love another man." Their camaraderie was a spectacle, with Musk's wealth and technological prowess complementing Trump's political showmanship. Musk's financial support was equally significant. Beyond the $277 million donated during the 2024 campaign, Musk pledged $100 million for the 2026 midterms, a commitment that gave him considerable leverage within the Republican Party. His influence extended to Silicon Valley, where tech billionaires like David Sacks rallied behind Trump, inspired by Musk's lead. This alignment of tech and political power created a new dynamic in Washington, with Musk serving as a bridge between Silicon Valley and the Trump administration. Policy synergies. The alliance was underpinned by shared policy goals. Musk's DOGE initiative aligned with Trump's promise to dismantle the deep state and reduce federal bureaucracy. Both men criticized excessive government spending, with Musk warning that the national debt posed an existential threat. Trump's agenda, including tax cuts and deregulation, resonated with Musk's vision of a leaner, more innovative government. Additionally, Musk's SpaceX contracts with NASA and the Pentagon dovetailed with Trump's ambitions for a space-based missile defense program, dubbed the Golden Dome. However, their partnership was not without friction. Musk's unorthodox approach, marked by public spats with cabinet members and his attendance at sensitive briefings, such as one on China at the Pentagon, irritated Trump's inner circle. These early tensions hinted at the fragility of their alliance, which relied heavily on personal rapport rather than institutional stability. Part 3. Cracks in the foundation. Policy disagreements. The first major crack appeared over Trump's signature domestic policy bill, known as the One Big Beautiful Bill. This sweeping tax and spending package, which included extensions of Trump's 2017 tax cuts, was projected to add $2.4 trillion to the federal deficit over a decade, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Musk, who had campaigned against government waste, viewed the bill as a betrayal of DOGE's mission. On June 3, 2025, he took to X, calling the bill a disgusting abomination and accusing lawmakers of passing it in the dead of night without proper review. Musk's criticism was not limited to Congress. He reposted a 2013 Trump tweet criticizing the debt ceiling, sarcastically captioning it, "Wise words," highlighting Trump's apparent shift from fiscal conservatism. Musk argued that the bill undermined DOGE's cost-cutting efforts, which he claimed had been achieved at great personal cost and risk. His public attacks complicated the bill's passage in a closely divided Congress, where Republicans could afford to lose only a few votes. Trump initially downplayed Musk's criticism, but tensions simmered. The bill included provisions to phase out electric vehicle (EV) tax credits by 2026, which Trump suggested was the real reason for Musk's opposition, given its potential impact on Tesla. Musk refuted this, insisting he supported eliminating all subsidies, including those for oil and gas, and that his concern was the bill's mountain of disgusting pork. The NASA nomination debacle. The tipping point came with Trump's decision to withdraw the nomination of Jared Isaacman, a billionaire entrepreneur and Musk ally, to lead NASA. Isaacman, who had donated to Democrats in recent years, was a controversial choice for Trump's team. On the day of Musk's Oval Office farewell, Trump confronted him about Isaacman's donations, reading them aloud and expressing dismay. Musk defended Isaacman, arguing that his bipartisan contributions reflected pragmatism, but Trump was unmoved. Hours later, Trump withdrew Isaacman's nomination, a move that left Musk feeling humiliated. The decision was influenced by White House Personnel Director Sergio Gore, who had clashed with Musk over hiring practices. Gore highlighted Isaacman's Democratic donations to sway Trump, exacerbating tensions. Musk's allies argued that the donations were non-ideological and encouraged by Senator Mark Kelly, a former astronaut, but the damage was done. The withdrawal was a public blow to Musk, who had lobbied hard for Isaacman to oversee NASA, an agency critical to SpaceX's operations. Personal and stylistic differences beyond policy, personal and stylistic differences strained the relationship. Trump, accustomed to loyalty and deference, grew frustrated with Musk's independent streak and tendency to overshadow him. Musk's attendance at sensitive briefings and his public criticisms of Trump's tariffs and cabinet members irritated the president. Meanwhile, Musk felt his influence in the administration was waning, as Trump distanced himself and relied more on traditional advisors like Stephen Miller. Musk's behavior, including appearing at the Oval Office farewell with a black eye he attributed to a playful tussle with his son, added to the perception of unpredictability. Trump mocked the black eye during a press conference, suggesting Musk could have used makeup, a remark that underscored their growing personal rift. These petty exchanges foreshadowed the public acrimony that would erupt days later. Part 4, The Public Meltdown. The Oval Office showdown. The alliance imploded on June 5, 2025, during a press conference in the Oval Office with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. Trump, prompted by questions about Musk's criticism of the spending bill, expressed disappointment, saying, "Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore." He accused Musk of Trump derangement syndrome, suggesting his criticism stemmed from personal resentment and the loss of EV subsidies. Trump also downplayed Musk's campaign contributions, claiming they were less significant than Musk portrayed. Musk, monitoring the event in real time, responded on X with a barrage of posts. He called Trump's claims such an obvious lie, and denied knowledge of the bill's details, asserting it was passed too quickly for review. He escalated further, claiming, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election," and accused the president of ingratitude. Musk's posts grew increasingly personal, including a poll asking followers if it was time to create a new political party and a suggestion that Trump appeared in unreleased Jeffrey Epstein files, a claim made without evidence and swiftly condemned by the Witteralo White House. Social media warfare. The feud played out in a hyperpublic, real-time spectacle on Trump's Truth Social and Musk's X. Trump posted that Musk had gone crazy, claiming he had asked him to leave the administration because he was wearing thin. He threatened to cancel Musk's government contracts, stating, "The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts." Musk retorted by threatening to decommission SpaceX's Dragon spacecraft, critical for NASA's missions, though he later backed off this threat. Musk's Epstein accusation was particularly inflammatory, tapping into right-wing speculation about government cover-ups. He posted a video of Trump and Epstein partying together decades ago, further stoking controversy. The White House, through Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, called the claim an unfortunate episode driven by Musk's frustration with the spending bill. The feud also drew in Ashley St. Clair, a right-wing writer and mother of one of Musk's children, who jokingly offered Trump breakup advice on X. Market and political fallout. The meltdown had immediate consequences. Tesla's stock plummeted 14% on June 5, wiping out $150 billion in market value, as investors reacted to Trump's threat to cut subsidies and contracts. SpaceX, though not publicly traded, faced uncertainty, as its competitors, Blue Origin and United Launch Alliance, saw stock gains. Politically, Musk's attacks gave ammunition to Republican senators skeptical of the spending bill, complicating its passage. His threat to withhold $100 million for the 2026 midterms alarmed GOP leaders, who feared losing his financial. Social media amplified the drama, with memes comparing the feud to pop culture breakups like those in Mean Girls or between rappers Drake and Kendrick Lamar. One ex-user quipped that the feud, coinciding with Pride Month, was the gayest thing about Pride Month, highlighting the public's fascination with the spectacle. Part V, the aftermath and implications. Attempts at reconciliation. By June 6, 2025, both men appeared to pause their public attacks. Trump, speaking aboard Air Force One, said he had no plans to speak with Musk but ordered a review of his government contracts. Musk continued criticizing the spending bill but avoided direct attacks on Trump. House Speaker Mike Johnson, who had been texting with Musk, expressed hope for a resolution, noting, "I don't argue with him about how to build rockets and I wish he wouldn't argue with me about how to craft legislation." Sources close to Musk suggested his anger was subsiding and that he might seek to repair the relationship, recognizing the mutual benefits of their alliance. However, Trump's inner circle remained wary, with some advisors pushing for punitive measures, such as slowing SpaceX contracts in favor of competitors. The White House also considered selling Trump's red Tesla Model S, a symbolic gesture of the rift. Economic and policy impacts. The feud's economic implications were significant. Tesla's stock volatility underscored the risks of Musk's public persona, while SpaceX's reliance on government contracts made it vulnerable to Trump's threats. The Pentagon's dependence on SpaceX for astronaut missions and the Golden Dome program complicated any move to sideline the company, as competitors lacked SpaceX's track record and cost efficiency. The spending bill's fate remained uncertain, with Musk's criticism emboldening fiscal conservatives in the Senate. The bill's passage was critical for Trump's agenda, including tax cuts and border security measures, but the feud distracted from legislative momentum. Musk's suggestion of a new political party, though unlikely to materialize, signaled his willingness to disrupt the GOP's unity ahead of the 2026 midterms. Political and cultural ramifications. The Trump-Musk breakup exposed the fragility of alliances built on personality rather than ideology. Both men, accustomed to dominating their respective spheres, struggled to coexist when their egos clashed. The feud also highlighted the growing influence of tech billionaires in politics, with Musk's role as a kingmaker raising questions about the intersection of wealth and power. Silicon Valley's alignment with Trump, facilitated by Musk, now faced uncertainty, as figures like David Sacks navigated the fallout. Culturally, the feud became a lightning rod for public sentiment. Liberals reveled in the spectacle of two conservative titans turning on each other, while conservatives grappled with choosing sides. The public nature of the conflict, amplified by social media, underscored the hyperreality of modern politics, where personal grudges and policy disputes play out in real time for a global audience. Critical analysis. The collapse of the Trump-Musk alliance raises broader questions about the sustainability of partnerships between political leaders and tech moguls. Musk's influence, derived from his wealth and control of X, gave him unprecedented leverage, but his erratic behavior and willingness to escalate conflicts limited his effectiveness as a political player. Trump, meanwhile, demonstrated his intolerance for dissent, even from a key ally, prioritizing loyalty over strategic partnerships. The feud also reflects deeper tensions within the Republican Party between fiscal conservatism and populist spending. Musk's opposition to the spending bill aligned with traditional conservative principles, while Trump's embrace of deficit spending echoed his pragmatic approach to governance. This divide could shape the GOP's trajectory in the 2026 midterms and beyond. Part 6, Conclusion. The Trump-Musk alliance, once a symbol of a new era in American politics, collapsed under the weight of policy disagreements, personal slights, and competing egos. What began as a partnership of mutual convenience, Trump's political power paired with Musk's wealth and technological vision, ended in a public spectacle that shook Washington and Wall Street. The fallout, from Tesla's stock plunge to the uncertainty surrounding Trump's legislative agenda, underscores the high stakes of their relationship. As of June 7, 2025, the feud shows signs of cooling, but the damage is done. The alliance's collapse highlights the challenges of aligning two outsized personalities with divergent priorities. For Trump, the loss of Musk's financial and technological support could weaken his administration's ambitions. For Musk, the feud risks alienating a government critical to his business empire. The broader implications, for the Republican Party, Silicon Valley, and the trajectory of American politics, will unfold in the months and years ahead, but the meltdown of June 2025 will remain a defining moment in the Trump-Musk saga.